What's up, Ragin Nation? How y'all doing? This is Alex. You're watching the Ragin Nation show Transformers 4 Edition. This is just a web series where we talk about all things that matter to me for the production of the fourth installment of the live-action Transformers film franchise directed by Michael Bay. This is update number 34, and we got a lot to talk about because they just wrapped up filming in Detroit. As you already know, they were filming a China set in Detroit, and we got YouTube member Greg Melvin who filmed some really cool aerial shots, and he compiled all these video of all the major explosions that took place on set, on location in Detroit. And I just want to talk about it for a little bit because first of all, we got this major scene where we have an intersection and then there's like cars piled up and a lot of debris, and then it just goes boom, just a huge explosion. All the cars go flipping up in the air and go all over the place, and something tells me that a huge Decepticon is doing some crazy damage over there. Maybe he just shot at it and it blew up, or maybe he's using his hands to lift it up and throwing them up all up in the air, but I don't know what it's happening, but it's a big Decepticon that does that most likely. And the next thing we got to talk about is this, you know, this big Chinese structure, this Gates of Heaven style structure. It just comes tumbling down, completely collapses with a display of pyrotechnics, and it was really cool. Something tells me that once again Decepticon took it out, but not just in any old fashion, but he probably was getting shot at from like military or airstrike or something like that, and he just takes out the structure along with the Decepticon. Speaking of which, you see that this building here, well, this building also gets a little bit of damage because you see this kind of indentation, a U-shaped indentation, which kind of shows that maybe an Autobot or a Decepticon is having some kind of hand-to-hand combat, and he pushes one of them into the structure and thus taking out a chunk, a section of the building, and the concrete just comes slamming down onto the ground. What do you guys think about that? I'm thinking that China is gonna have some serious robot on robot fighting going on, which is really exciting to me because that's what I want to see, and to have it take place in China, that's just icing on the cake. So I'm really excited about that. Moving on, let's talk about Ratchet. Ratchet is in the news lately because he just recently showed up at the Woodward Dream Cruise in Royal Oak, Michigan. And does that confirm that Ratchet's gonna be in this movie? I don't know. I can't confirm that because Leadfoot was also there, but we have no other signs of him. And Michael Bay also mentioned that if there are any returning characters that are coming back from Transformers Dark Moon to Transformers 4, they would all be completely redesigned. And we've already seen that with Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Bumblebee getting 2 modes and Optimus Prime being completely redesigned. And of course, we're getting a whole new team of Autobots and Decepticons. So what's up with Ratchet showing up? Is it just misinformation like he did with Transformers Revenge of the Fallen? And what's up with Leadfoot? Now, as you already know, Ratchet, or rather an emergency response vehicle that we don't know is Ratchet or not, also showed up. So maybe that could be Ratchet's new upgraded form, and maybe that the green version that we see, the Dark of the Moon version that we see, is going to reformat or upgrade itself to that standard looking emergency response vehicle that is, you know, in white with some red on it. Who knows, but that is some really interesting news to think about. Anyways, let's talk about Chicago because the filming is going to be moving on to Chicago, but it won't be representing Chicago because Chicago was filmed predominantly in Transformers Dark of the Moon, but since Michael Bay has a great relationship with the mayor of Chicago and the city and bringing in a lot of positive economic impact, they're back in Chicago, but they're going to be filming Chicago to stand in for China and Hong Kong, or maybe one or the other or both. I don't know, but it's going to represent one or both of those places. And it's going to start filming. They're going to start filming there on Friday, August 23rd, and it will be at the McCormick Place Square and parts of Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, and it will be for a major action sequence, which will include explosions, car flips, and all kinds of crazy Baysplosions and Bayos and just craziness. So there you have it. That's what's going on in Chicago. And then moving on to August 31st to September 1st, they will be filming at the Lakeshore East area, and that's going to also include more explosions and craziness. A lot of action stuff. So you gotta be there. If you're gonna be in those areas, make sure you have your camera phone on you, or just like a camcorder or something, because you're not gonna want to miss out on what's going on there. So anyways, moving on. So that's what's happening like later on this week. But what exactly happened last week. As you already know, and as I already mentioned, Detroit wrapped up filming, but they were also doing some filming at the GM Lansing plant, and I talked about that in the last update, and we spotted the Cadillac C in there. And but where exactly were they filming, you know, in other parts of last week? They couldn't have been filming, you know, at the GM Lansing plant all week. Well, it turns out they were filming at the Russell Bazaar location in Detroit. I don't know exactly where that was, but what they were filming there consisted of specific vehicles, and that would include the Sonic RS, and it was being chased down by the Rally Fighter, the Black Rally Fighter, which is most likely a Decepticon, Sonic RS most likely Autobot, and then both of them were being chased down by two Cadillac SUVs, and they were carrying Special Forces units. Okay, so you got an Autobot Sonic RS being chased down by Decepticon, Rally Fighter, and both of those cars were being chased down by Cadillac SUV filled with Special Forces units. So pretty big, big action sequence. You know, it's a car chase, obviously. And what was also spotted there was the rusty old cab. Okay, the rusty old cab was actually spotted at the old Fisher Body plant in Detroit, Michigan, and there were some pretty big explosions in front of the plant. And what was also seen there was the rusty old cab. I don't know what it was doing, but it was driving around, not really chasing anyone, but definitely driving around. And what was also spotted there was the Sonic RS, but this time it was self-driving. It wasn't chased by anyone, it was self-driving. And TJ Miller, Nicola Peltz, and Jack Rayner were actually running away from it. So that's something to consider, and which also solidifies the fact that the Sonic RS is in fact an Autobot. We already knew it's a good guy, but I didn't know, and I couldn't confirm whether or not it's going to be an Autobot or whether it's going to be a robot, let alone an Autobot. So pretty cool stuff. I mean, I originally felt that the Sonic RS wasn't going to be anything at all except for a car, right? But looks like it's going to be an Autobot. So who it is, I don't know. Finally, last thing I want to talk about is a new addition to the roster. I don't know if it's going to be Decepticon. I don't know if it's going to be an Autobot, but most likely I think it's going to be Decepticon. And what was spotted is a Saline S7. I don't even know what that is. I never even heard of it, but it's this really sleek looking yellow car. Okay, when I think of yellow, I think of Sunstreaker and I think of Stunticon Dragstrip, okay? I don't think it's going to be Sunstreaker because we already have a yellow car, a yellow Autobot rather, and that would be a Bumblebee. But since this is a Chase from Hell movie and we're seeing a lot of possible Stunticons, potential Stunticons, it could be Dragstrip. And I'm going to put my money on Dragstrip. That's very, very interesting. And this is big news to me because I thought we were all we've been exhausted with all the sports cars. All these nice cars have been completely exhausted, and then Michael Bay throws out something crazy at us, and that would be this yellow Saline S7. Really, really crazy stuff, and most likely I'm thinking it's Dragstrip. All right, so we're done with all the news. We got a lot more stuff to talk about, and that's to the fans and to the Ragin Nation. And I just want to say a big Ragin Nation shout out to Ricky Allen. What's up, buddy? Thanks for being part of the Ragin Nation. And let's do a prize giveaway, and that would be for someone who got the most thumbs up in their story idea for update number 32. And I was going through all 500 plus comments, and it turns out that Ragin Nation member Marlon Fan 1995 wins with your story. Congratulations, buddy. Thanks for being a part of Ragin Nation. Thanks for participating, and also thanks for your sharing us with your story idea. You got a lot of thumbs up. Looks like a lot of people like your story idea, and you get the prize, and that is a Transformers prize pack with an autographed exclusive SavCon character card of Robots in Disguise Optimus Prime, autographed by Neil Kaplan himself, the voice of Optimus Prime from the Robots in Disguise series. You got this Chinese exclusive Chinese Hunt for Decepticons catalog. It's in Chinese characters, and also this Transformers Dark of the Moon, a 3D catalog complete with 3D glasses. So send me a message, and I will email you with the details on how to get this. Give me your address, and then I'll be sending this your way. Next thing we got to talk about is collections. We got to do some collection, showing off some collections, and the first one is from, let's see who the first one is from. That would be from Ragin Nation member Elvin. Elvin, let's see what you got. Whoa. Metroplex, holy crap, this guy is huge. This is a pretty sweet collection you got here. You got Combiners, Devastator, you got even the Bruticus with the Fans Project add-ons. You got a lot of recent release, which look really great. You got some Fans Project, not Stunticons, which look really awesome with Sandstorm and Springer, and of course the Grimlock, Soundwave Blaster. This is a great collection, and thanks for showing me. And the last collection photos is from Christian from Germany. So let's take a look at what he's got here. And it turns out it's something pretty sweet because we have a very, very colorful collection. We got everything. It's mainly movie toys. Oh man, this looks good because he laid everything out on the carpet, and we got Sentinel Prime, lots of Bumblebees. I see a lot of Bumblebees. I see 2 different Optimus Primes, Sentinel Primes. I see the twins in there. There's this play set from the Dark of the Moon, and this is a really sweet looking collection. You got Bone Crusher in there, and it's looking good. It is looking good. It's a pretty substantial collection. Thanks for showing me. All right. As always, if you enjoyed this video, so this concludes update number 34, and I want to ask you guys 2 questions. First of all, do you think that Ratchet is in Transformers 4? And another question is, who do you think is the Saline S7, the yellow one, the yellow sleek-looking sports car? Is it Dragstrip or is it going to be Sunstreaker? Let me know in the comments section below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. This is your one-stop shop for Transformers 4 production news. If you want to see more, make sure you follow my videos, and also stay tuned for update number 35. We got a big one coming up for you guys. I always got big news for you guys, all right? My name is Alex Yu, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.
For me, as much as I like the Beast Mode, I thought they did a lot of improvements on the Beast Mode.
I think you were right on the spot when you said that the Beast Mode is something that they really did an